Tuesday, April, the 3rd? No, what? May the 3rd. Okay. Heavy day. Today's modality is heavy. And, if you want, go ahead and scroll through what Beyond the Whiteboard considers heavy workouts. And I think you'll find that we picked a really good one. Maybe we do have a bias against heavy, and we do-ish only because we really, by virtue of the fact that we don't set prescribed weights, right? Because a lot of workouts can be heavy, just not if you choose not to make it heavy. And so for that reason, you take the Beyond the Whiteboard rating system with a grain of salt, especially for heavy days. That being said, they have their idea of what heavy is, right? And it is not heavy compared to where you're at right now. It is heavy based on their own scale. Typically for something like snatches, it's above 135 for men and above probably 95 for ladies, snatching specifically. But here's the deal with today's workout. Here's why it fits nicely. It is considered a heavy WOD, and it accommodates you where you are. This is open workout 13.1, and it is an ascending ladder of weighted or loaded snatches and a descending ladder of burpees. So basically the idea with 17 minutes on the clock, you're gonna get nice and tired from burpees, and then you're gonna see what you can do with a barbell once you're already fatigued. And you can see what they're doing with the barbell. Each time it goes from, like, we'll call it a light to moderate barbell for 30 snatches. And then after your 30 burpees, you go and do 30 more snatches. This time for men, it's like 40 pounds heavier. For women, it's 30 pounds heavier. And you can see, what they're doing. They're just trying to identify whether or not you can not only lift heavy, but lift heavy under fatigue. It gives you Isabel in the middle of the workout. And that's its own beast, right? So I get what they're doing. And I think this is the reason that this is a good one for us, is because you see what they're doing, right? It is an ascending ladder of loaded barbells, which means if the weights that you see as RX today are not your cup of tea, then you change them, right? You start with something that you can move 30 times. You add weight in the second time around, something that's a little bit more challenging, probably something you have to do as singles. And then, depending on how you're feeling, if you're feeling a little saucy, then that third weight can be something that you're like either not sure about, or that you're that you can lift it, but you're probably not going to lift it 30 times. Because remember, this is an open WOD, and open WODs are not meant to be finished by all of us. I'll tell you a story. 13.1 was the first open that I ever did. And back then there was no modification. And the idea of snatching 135 pounds was laughable. And so I signed up for the open because we didn't know what the open WODs would be. You had to just sign up and then you'd get 4 or 5 workouts. And 17 minutes is a long time. And for that 17 minutes, I maybe attempted 2 snatches at 135. And the rest of the time I just looked at the barbell. And I don't want that for anybody this time around. And thank goodness they eventually added the scale division. And so, I want it to be a thing. I don't want anybody to think I gotta finish this workout and I'm only gonna pick weights that will let me finish. Because if you notice, if you were to finish, the last round of this WOD is a ultra heavy weight that is just asking you to pick up as many times as you can in the time remaining. All right, and hey, if anybody looks at this and sees the right path forward, we will come up with, then by all means take it, but we can instead for you come up with some sort of alternate weights to use that we think will be challenging, that will allow you to receive and get the stimulus, the intent. So just ask your coach and we'll help you out. I know how it's going to go for me. 165 is a very touch and go weight for me. It's not the right phrase to use. I cannot touch and go at 165. What I mean is I'm not always sure on any given day if I can lift 165. And if I can, it's definitely singles. And if I can, it's definitely a minute in between reps. And so that's how far I'm going to get up the ladder when I do this. I haven't done it yet. I'm about to. So I just wanted everybody to know, please go into this knowing not everybody's finishing this. It's not meant to be, but it's still considered a heavy WOD. But if in order for us to, get credit, so to speak, for a heavy WOD, then we got to make it somewhat challenging for ourselves. right off the bat. That second weight should not be something you could touch and go, most likely, unless it's the weights written on the RX. If you can touch and go that, great. Just something that you can move through. Let's put it this way. Best way to put this: the second weight should be what you did for Isabel the last time we did Isabel. All right, and then the third weight can be more than that. And I would say something like 10 to 20 pounds more than that if you are not doing this workout prescribed. All right, that's the heavy WOD. All right, guys, we'll talk later.